Hello again. This is English 5, Unit number 5, Food Choices, Grammar. In this video we are going to talk about quantifiers by teacher wviniueza. Objectives. First, we're going to review the quantifiers that we can use with count and non-count nouns. Then we're going to practice with some exercises. And finally, we're going to talk about food beliefs using quantifiers. So let's start. Count and non-count nouns. They are also known as countable noun and uncountable noun. So if you use the first names or the seconds, we're talking about the same topic. Count for countable nouns or non-count for uncountable nouns. So when we talk about countable nouns, we have some quantifiers like many. Let's check an example. There are many students in class and a few or just few. There are few students in class. Talking about uncountable nouns, much is the equivalent to many. So we can say there isn't much milk. Remember, we use much only with uncountable nouns. And similar to a few, we have a little for uncountable nouns. Let's check an example. There is a little money in the bank. We also have some quantifiers that can be used with countable and uncountable nouns. For example, a lot of plus noun, enough plus noun. We can also use adjective plus enough and to plus adjective. Let's check one by one. A lot of. There are a lot of students in class. And with an uncountable noun, there is a lot of money in the bank. With enough plus noun, we can say, there aren't enough students to start the class. With an uncountable noun, there isn't enough milk for my coffee. Now we're going to use adjectives plus enough. Studying is hard enough to do something else. With uncountable nouns, the milk isn't hot enough. Remember, in this case, the meaning of enough is suficiente. So we can translate the sentence, the milk isn't hot enough, in this way. La leche no está lo suficientemente caliente. The last quantifier is to. We can use to plus an adjective. Okay, so here please don't mistake, because to is also used as a synonym of also, or in Spanish también. But in this case, to is not with the same meaning as también. In this case, to means muy. So let's check an example. There are too many students in class, and with uncountable nouns, there is too much milk in my cup. So remember, with countable nouns, we use many, a few. With uncountable nouns, much, a little. And with both of them, we can use a lot of, enough, and to. Quantifiers. Uncountable nouns. Here we have more examples. We have a little butter in the fridge. Some. There is very little food. Not a lot. I'm trying to eat less fat. There's not much food in the house. So in this case, we're using little, and we can also include very little or less. Countable nouns. We have a few slices of cheese. It means some. We eat very few frozen meals. Not a lot. 1% milk has fewer calories, and there aren't many vegetables. Talking about the food containers and items, as they are countable nouns, we can use numbers. 2 cartons of juice, and 2 loaves of bread. Remember to use the other grammar rules that you have learned. For example, a loaf of bread is singular. We use a because we're talking about one, and loaf we change it to plural, changing the F by E and adding ES. A loaf of bread, 2 loaves of bread. A carton of juice, we use it in singular and with a because we are talking about one. Now, talking about weights and measures. A liter of or a quarter of, in this case, we're talking about a liter. A kilo of or a pound of, 1 kilo is equal to 2.2 pounds, and 1 liter is equal to 1.1 quarts. Now we're going to practice in some exercises. And also remember that kilo is equal to kilogram. It's like the short form. We must avoid these common errors. Don't use a little, much, or many, plus of, and plus the noun. So this example, there isn't much of cheese is wrong. We don't need to include of between the quantifier and the noun. The right way is there isn't much cheese. Choose the correct words to complete the sentences. Then compare with a partner. So here you can stop the video before you check the answers. Try to take your notes, try to see which is the right answer, and then you can play the video to check with the answer proposed here. In my refrigerator, there's always a jar or a jar of spaghetti sauce. So the answer is a jar of spaghetti sauce and a quart of or a few milk. Remember, milk is non-count noun, so we cannot use few. So the answer is a quart of milk. In my refrigerator, there's always a jar of spaghetti sauce and a quart of milk. Sentence number 2. In my kitchen cabinet, there is package of or a package of, in this case, is a package of rice and a little or a bag of chips. What is the container for the chips? A bag. So, a bag of cheese. So, sentence number 2. In my kitchen cabinet, there is a package of rice and a bag of chips. Sentence number 3. I try to eat healthily, so I eat a few, not much, vegetables. In this case, what's the right answer? Yes, it is a few. A few vegetables and a little or very little fruit every day. So in this case, a little fruit every day. Sentence number 4. I bought very few, very little meat. Okay, in this case is very little meat and very few or very little cookies. In this case, cookies is countable, so we need to use very few cookies recently. So sentence number 4 is I bought very little meat and very few cookies recently. Number 5. I should eat less or fewer junk food. In this case, the answer is less. I should eat less junk food. I know it doesn't have much or many vitamins. Vitamins is plural, so we need to use many. Many vitamins. 6. I eat little fast food than I used to. This keyword than it helps us to choose the right answer, that is less. I eat less fast food than I used to, though I still enjoy a little or a few fries. In this case, fries is plural, so we need to use a few. when I can. So sentence number 6 is, I eat less fast food than I used to, though I still enjoy a few fries when I can. 7. Yesterday I had a few chocolate as a treat. In this case, a little chocolate as a treat. Number 8. We always keep a few basics in the house, a couple of loaves of bread because it says couple and we're talking about plural. Some cartons of, plural again, milk, and a few slices of cheese. Remember, cheese is non-count, but we are counting the slices, not the cheese. So that's why we use a few. A few slices of cheese and a few or a little eggs, in this case, a few eggs. Beliefs about food. It's good to eat a few nuts every day. They are very healthy. So that's one belief that people have. If you eat nuts every day, you're going to be healthy. A little chocolate, remember before we also used little because chocolate is non-count. A little chocolate can be good for you. It can improve your mood. Yeah, I think we also have a belief like this here in Ecuador. We say that when we are sad, you have any problems, you can also eat a piece of chocolate and you're going to feel much better. If you eat fewer carbohydrates and a little more fat and protein, you will lose weight more quickly. Yeah, that's true. Here we also believe that the carbohydrates make you get fat. But if you reduce the amount of carbohydrates you eat, you're going to lose weight much faster. Eating less food can help you live longer. I don't know if this one is true for us. You should try to eat 9 servings of fresh fruits and vegetables every day. I don't know if this is true, but in my diet I try to include at least one fruit every day. A cup of green tea every day is good for your general health. You know that in Asian countries like Japan and China, they are accustomed to drink tea, black tea and green tea, and they have a good health. So maybe this one is also true. Are there any other beliefs in your country? Use the quantifiers to tell them. More practice. In this exercise, we're going to practice with too much, too many, or enough. So we have to complete these sentences. More than one answer may be possible. I eat fast food and not fruits and vegetables. So before I start answering the question, I want you to stop the video, take your time, write your answers, and then you can check. It is important you do these exercises because it will help you to understand the topics that we are reviewing here in each video. So please don't cheat. Don't check the answers before you try. Okay, now we're going to check your answers. I eat too much fast food and not too many fruits and vegetables. Number 2. There's never enough time to shop or cook during the week, so I eat out a lot. Number 3. During my exams, I study too much and I don't sleep. And I don't sleep enough. Number 4. I don't like fried foods. there's too much fat in them, it's better to grill or steam food. Number 5. If I don't eat enough for breakfast, or if breakfast isn't filling enough, I am usually too hungry to wait for lunch. Number 6. Sometimes I eat too fast and I get a stomachache, or I eat too much. Number 7. I don't like ice cream. I find most desserts are too sweet for me. And the last one, number 8. I'm probably too careful about what I eat, but I get sick if I eat too many fatty things. Okay, so let's check here. We have fast food. This is a noun, so that's why we use too much. In this case, food is like a non-count noun, and we use much. Too many fruits, because fruits is countable, and we have to use many. There is never enough time. So as the blank space is before the noun, it also helps us to notice that we need to use enough. I study too much. You cannot count the study, so that's why we use too much. And I don't sleep enough. Enough can also be at the end of the sentence. There is too much fat. Fat is a non-count noun. That's why we use too much. I don't eat enough for breakfast, so we're using enough after the verb in this case. Or if breakfast isn't feeling enough. I am usually too hungry. Hungry is the adjective, so we have to use too. Sometimes I eat too fast, too before an adjective, or I eat too much. I find most desserts are too sweet. Sweet is an adjective, so we need to use too. And here we have another adjective, careful. I'm probably too careful about what I eat, but I get sick if I eat too many fatty things. Okay, fat is a non-count noun, but here we have an adverb, fatty, and things is plural, so we're talking about a count noun. So that's why we use too many. Thank you very much. I hope this information was helpful for you, and now you can use in the appropriate way the quantifiers with countable and uncountable nouns. Thank you. Bye.